so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
Corruption in the Garden State claims 11. Welcome back to New Jersey Now. After a year-long investigation, 11 public officials are now facing bribery charges. Joining me right now is Assemblyman John Gramnick of New Jersey's 21st District. Are either of you afraid that the public is just going to paint with a broad brush and say, hey, you know what, they're all crooks?
Absolutely. And that's exactly what the public's doing. They probably should do that to some degree because the extent of corruption is so deep that the public should probably think that, they have a problem with Trent.
They were all Democrats. Some people are charging that Chris Christie is on a witch hunt because he's a Republican.
New Jersey is the kind of place where you can serve 20 years in office before turning up for your year and a half in jail. That was the career path of Sharp James, the one-time mayor of New Jersey's largest city, Newark. New Jersey is the kind of place where rabbis get arrested in combination divorce, kidnap, torture scandals that involve cattle prods. In New Jersey, when they report that you've confessed to taking bribes, they start by explaining that you are neither the alleged money laundering rabbi nor the alleged trafficker in human organs, but a different guy. In New Jersey, they make up legends about the corrupt mayor using a desk with specially designed drawers so people who wanted to give the mayor a bribe could drop the money in more discreetly. Just push the drawer out the other side of the desk and drop in the check. And when that myth gets debunked, they explain in New Jersey that the legendarily corrupt mayor was so powerful, he never would have needed to collect the money himself. He didn't need a drawer like that. He had guys.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we so gallantly streaming, and against red glare,
we will not give in to the corrupt forces in this state. They will continue to fight us, and they will continue to go to jail.
Tomorrow all things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again.
Well, if Chris Christie is doing what comes to his attention, for example, if someone has a problem with a politician or believes someone's on the take, they just need to call Chris Christie. He's not going to decide and look at it whether it's a Republican or Democrat. But Chris Christie is setting the agenda in New Jersey, which is unfortunate as opposed to the leadership.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What do those words mean to you? To me, they say, thank you, America, for your strength, your courage, and for our freedom, which has been a beacon to the world for 200 years.
Of the United States of America,
whose bright stars are 50 states, each bearing its own stamp of individuality. People, 200 million strong. People who have come to her from all corners of the earth.
And to the republic for which it stands.
A land of laws with an ingenious system of checks and balances that allows no man to become a tyrant and lets no group prevail if their power is not tempered with a real concern for the governed. A land where the right of dissent and free speech is jealously guarded, where the ballot box is the sword and the people its wielder.
One nation, under God.
A land where freedom of worship is a cornerstone of her being. A land graced with temples and churches, synagogues and altars that rise in profusion to embrace all the religions of the world.
Indivisible.
A land forged by the hot steel and raw courage, and formed forever by the awful crucible of civil war.
With liberty.
Where man, in pursuit of an honest life, will not be denied his chance. Where her citizens move freely within her vast borders without hindrance or fear. A land brimming with opportunity, where freedom of choice is the guideline for all.
And justice.
The courts of our land are open to all. Its wheels of justice grind for all causes, all people. They look to every avenue for justice, every concern of the law, and they temper their reasoning with mercy for all.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bold stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
You know, I was watching the news conference that he held, the live news conference. We did not use this particular soundbite in Carter's package. I don't think I've ever seen him so incredibly angry, and I don't think it was theatrics. You know, he talked about this just corruption of public officials, and he was incensed of how widespread it was, and he talked about this network that one public official would lead the FBI sting operation to another guy, and another guy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Eric Kapnick. I'm a partner in the firm. I've been at the firm for 10 years. I oversee all of the real estate transactions, both private, commercial, banking. I think we're able to deal with everybody's needs and do that successfully. We have a lot of experience. We know the law. We keep abreast of the changes in the law. I know most of the brokers in the area, most of the other attorneys in the area. So it makes it easy to achieve success for our clients. get big firm representation at not big firm prices. I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing it over 20 years, so I feel pretty confident that the service we provide is good and successful.
We're here at KeenCast.net, Mortgage Movies, and we're going to go back to last fall now, where another industry professional and I approached Feinsuch and Kahn regarding robo-signing. What did we find out? Not only are the documents and signatures fake, but the named partner of the firm is a phony also. Watch this.
I had prior experience in the securities industry as a registered representative, selling securities, stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Chris, I've been with Mortgage Movies. I was a title insurance producer for a number of years.
I have a question as to his ethics. He can't even divulge his real name. He uses robo-signatories to fraudulently foreclose on homeowners. What's next?
This document that you are about to see is they are exhibits, and they are documents produced and fabricated by the law firm of Fain, Such, Kane, and Shepard. Fraudulent document. Exhibit I. We have an assignment of mortgage. This assignment mortgage is dated 11th day of June 2008. The assignment of mortgage is a bogus rubber signer mortgage. The signature here are rubber signers. The name here Nico and Tanya, who says they are assistant secretary, a rubber signer. The notary of the assignment is dated May 19, 2008, which has a stamped name here, D. Platt. This is a rubber signer notary, okay, and this document lack of witness and seal, so it's a fraudulent document produced by the law firm of Fain, Such, Kane, and Sharper, used as a standing court. And then this document was identified by the Superior Court, Administrative Office of the Court, State of New Jersey, which this is a notice of assignment deficiency. The assignment, the notary lists two different dates for the signing of the assignment: 6/11/2008 and 5/19/2008. And this is from Larry Scott, and the court acknowledged that Wells Fargo Bank did not have standing in court, but mysteriously this document went through the court. Like they said, the law firm of Fain, Such, Kane, Shepard has any connection with the court and can get things done. So they said it, they get things done. So unlawfully what they do. So this went through after being notified there was a deficiency. There was no standing court for Wells Fargo to bring foreclosure on my property. Now I have a list here. This is the names here of the rubber signer. You saw on the paper. Coston, Nico here, and Tanya. Okay, here. These two names are on this list of McDonald Property Analyst of Approved Rubber Signer, and you find it right here. Okay, exactly here. Nico Cost and Tanya Bleacher. And this is one document. This document has been before the district court of Trenton, Judge Wilson. Now, the next document is Exhibit L. This Exhibit L shows the fabrication of a bogus document by the law firm of Fain, Such, Kane, and Shepard. You can see here, this is the title here, and this is the representative of Fargo Bank. This is certification for the additional funds due plaintiff, and they have here a stamp name is Vice President, who's the stamp name vice president, is Robert Signer. And you have to know that they're talking about home service, equity servicing here is Novel Fargo. So this document is really fraudulent document, and it has been signed by Robert Signer here. It's been fabricated from the law firm of Fain, Such, and Kane. This is again another piece of Robert Signer document needed to produce in order to get a judgment. The certification of amount due in support of an entry of final judgment. Okay. Now, this document again, it's a Fain, Such, Kane, Shepherd. It was made from their office. Okay. This is a name here says Michael M. Curtis. Michael M. Curtis, employee of Berkeley Capital Real Estate. The service agent is North Island, California. It's from California. The law firm is in New Jersey, in Parsippany, New Jersey. So this document is definitely not has nothing to do with New Jersey foreclosure. And also the name Michael Curtis is Robert Signer. This is the Robert Signer here, okay? And then you can find the name of Michael Curtis on this list here. This list here says Michael Curtis, Robert Signer. Also again Tanya here, all right? So you see, remember on the document of the assignment or mortgage, the notary names, okay? The notary names is the D. Platt, Robert Signer, this one here. I'm find the name on this side and this one here, right here. And this one here we have this the name of the signer, the Robert Signer, notary Robert Signer, D. Platt here. On this side, line here, and this is what they're doing over here. Okay, this is the note. Now,
what ends up happening is that in my case in particular, what's so interesting is there is a robo-signer. And what is a robo-signer? It's somebody that's paid to sign thousands of documents every day.
Of course, we're familiar with Linda Green. What was the robo-signer's name in your case?
Bethany Hood.
This document here is alleged fourth court order that Sheriff Frank Provenzano of Somerset County enforced it on me and my family to evict us from our own home. We own it at home. So we were evicted for this document. This document is not a court order signed and sealed by a state judge. This document is not court order at all. This is a bogus document. They use it pretending there was a fourth court order signed by a judge. And in fact, you're going to see it's never been signed by a judge. In fact, the judge never saw this document. You can see the official signature of Sheriff Provenzano, which does not match on the forged deeds. And I'm going through here, I'm showing you that thing. This again, it's done, fabricated. This court order was fabricated by Fain, Such, Kane, and Shepherd. Okay, and this is the paper. Now, it's my possession here, okay, the number here, and this was filed, okay, says here on 6/2/2011, June 2, 2011, okay. Now this alleged court order has 3 pages length, okay. When I'm going to 3 pages here, you see here the alleged state judge Mary Jacobson, okay, and this supposed to be died at the 2nd of August, okay. This signature here is forged signature, is not the signature of that be pretend to be, is not the signature of Jennifer Perez, okay, of the Superior Court clerk office of the Superior Court in Trenton. So, and then this is basically their it's a forged signature here, and obviously is not signed by the judge, and this is not sealed signed by the judge. It's not a court order. It's unlawful. To the fact that I'm gonna show you what really happened with the for the bogus court order. This case right now is pending on in the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit, and this is the case here. Thomas Appellante and Wells Fargo Bank, Mr. Luke Anderson and Miss Ellen Anderson are the police. Okay, this is in regard to police. When I filed a reply brief, which I included 2 more documents that were unknown to the court, at this point. This is, again, the court order, remember? The alleged first court order wanted, and I call it Exhibit A. This Exhibit A is composed of 3 pages, like I showed you before. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now you can see here this document is filed, and the case number is 13-3297. Okay, filed 10/25/2013. This is pending right now in court, and I have not heard from the court yet. The reason I filed this reply brief was because this document here and this document here that were part of the appendix of my counterpart in the same name case are supposed to be identical copies, and they are not. The same right of possession, okay, is this one here, as a 2 pages, composed 2 pages. Now, in the Exhibit A, we have it at the second page. We have where hence here and there, ends where there is right. Therefore, this part here, okay, if up the sheriff executing the filed right of a possession, the occupants refuse to leave the premises, the sheriff is commanded to exercise the right to remove said occupancy by any force or other means necessary. This section here is missing on the page second page of Exhibit B. If you see here, okay, comparing this one here, okay, here where it ends with there is the reason why this Exhibit A has 3 pages, okay, and Exhibit B is supposed to be the same identical document as 2 pages, is the fact that to obtain a force court order, they need to specify that. So what they did, they go to the second page, they stand it, and they head up here where ends with this right, and they proceed adding this section here, which says specifically, therefore, if up the sheriff executing the filed right of possession, the occupancy refused to leave the premises, the sheriff is commanded to exercise the right to remove said occupancy by any force or other means necessary. So this what makes the court order, the alleged court order, to be a force court order. So they need to put this one in on a existing forged bogus document. So they stand it with this. So and then they use it as an alleged valid force court order. It's not seal assigned by a judge. It's not a court order. Okay, it's obviously they think that people are stupid.
Like counterfeit docs.
The Coons case that
Isn't that amazing? That
same signer.
Fine Such and Crane does.
That same
They
signer.
use forged documents to create lawsuits for the appearance of standing.
Because standing is an
We just have
elemental
to be in the middle of a movie, and we have this one off focus.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
allegiance to the flag.
What do those words mean to you? To me, they say, thank you, America, for your strength, your courage, and for our freedom, which has been a beacon to the world for 200 years.
Of the United States of America.
We can't ignore where the sheriff came from, where his power has come from, and that we as deputies and peace officers who have all sworn the same oath, that we stand united in making sure that the people in our counties have individual liberty.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
Well, we still have to believe in the system.
perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched, were so gallantly streaming.
What I'd like to do first, before we start, is to recognize a number of people here who have all been a part of the fabric of this community, not only in town, but outside of our town. I'd like to start with Governor Donald DeFrancisco. Also recognize Assemblyman John Blandnick. John, is there anything you'd like to say? I know you're in the hot seat down in Trenton there.
I want to compliment this governing body for leading the way and being a model township.
O'er the land of the free and the
And with all due respect to prosecutors throughout this country, we still have to respect the system that people are innocent until proven guilty. So I think everyone has that right to defend themselves. Now, the political party itself may want to put pressure on a candidate to leave office, but I think we should not upset the system.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Whether Chris Christie is going to run for office, higher office, well, he wasn't that unclear about it. He was fairly out in the open. He asked whether he could, run for president and be the governor of New Jersey at the same time. Now, this is very late in the campaign. He said, quote, "I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can do this job and also deal with my future." In other words, yeah, I'm running for president.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We stood behind a podium like this and said that people were tired of politics as usual, they wanted to get things done, and we promised we were going to go to Trenton and turn it upside down, and I think we've done just that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What do those words mean to you? To me, they say, thank you, America, for your strength, your courage, and for our freedom, which has been a beacon to the world for 200 years.
Of the United States of America.
whose bright stars are 50 states, each bearing its own stamp of individuality. People, 200 million strong. People who have come to her from all corners of the earth.
What people have never understood about us is that I didn't need the introduction to all of you. I know you because I'm one of you.
This false image he has as a regular guy, when in fact he is completely funded by Wall Street and the richest people, not just in New Jersey, but in the country. And so he doesn't represent the average guy at all, no matter who he curses at.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes.
But let me give you one more fact about this. He outspent his opponent $11.5 million to $2.1 million on ads alone. So that'll do it. So a lot of Wall Street money gets you a lot of positive ads about how you're a regular guy and you're swell and that you represent the average guy from New Jersey.
The people of New Jersey 4 years ago were downhearted and dispirited. They didn't believe that government could work for them anymore. In fact, what they thought was that government was just there to take from them, but not to give to them, not to work with them, not to work for them. Well, 4 years later.
If tomorrow all things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars.
Governor, how interested are you in running for president in 2016?
I'm focused on being the governor of New Jersey and being the chairman of the Republican Governors Association. I think those two jobs will keep me pretty busy over the next year.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston.
I'm Frank Provenzano, Sheriff of Somerset County, and today we're at Operation Shoebox headquarters with the First Lady of New Jersey, Mary Pat Christie. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sheriff. It's a real honor to be at not only in Somerset County, but certainly to be at Operation Shoebox, New Jersey.
If you come back here, but you have to promise one thing.
What's that?
You got to bring the governor.
Here another news paper talking about county sheriff endorsed Chris Christie for governor during Somerville campaign stop. So we have Sheriff Frank Provenzano endorsing Chris Christie for governor, and this tells you the friendship that and the political connection that the Frank Provenzano has with our Governor Chris Christie.
If tomorrow all things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again. children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
For those veterans out there tonight, you know how sacred a mission is. Sacredness of the mission of a soldier.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He said no one ever is left behind. No one is ever left behind on the
What do
battlefield.
those words mean to you? To me, they say, thank you, America, for your strength, your courage, and for our freedom, which has been a beacon to the world for 200 years.
Of the United States of America.
In Portland, New Jersey.
Whose bright stars are 50
The busiest bridge in the whole country, a bridge that carries tens of thousands of cars and trucks and buses every day, stopped working. Not the whole bridge, just this one part. This is a section of the George Washington Bridge, again, busiest bridge in the entire country. This is the part of it that connects to a town called Fort Lee, New Jersey. Normally, they've got 3 lanes going up to the bridge out of Fort Lee. But on the first day of school in New Jersey, in Fort Lee, New Jersey this year, Fort Lee discovered that somebody had closed down 2 of their 3 lanes. The school buses just sat there. They couldn't get the kids to school for first day of classes. Quoting the local police chief, "We first heard about this at 7:15 Monday morning. It was the first day of school. Our parents now have to get up an hour and a half earlier to get their kids to class." On Monday, while all this was going on, we had to contend with a missing 4-year-old, a cardiac arrest requiring an ambulance, and a car running up against a building. What would have happened if there was a serious accident? Why is this happening? But the people of Fort Lee did have a few ideas about why this maybe was being done to their little town. The Democratic mayor of Fort Lee refused to endorse Chris Christie for re-election. Quote, people familiar with the matter noted that the mayor had been asked and declined to endorse Mr. Christie for re-election 2 weeks before the toll booth shut down and that mayor's town got forcibly gridlocked into a complete standstill. Dozens of leading New Jersey Democrats, including lots and lots of local mayors. But he did not get the endorsement of the Democratic mayor of Fort Lee, who then just so happened to discover one morning that ordinary life had been suspended in his town, with no warning, no notice, and no news of when it would end. Were closed on that bridge on the orders of a single person, a guy hired by an appointee of Governor Christie. Wall Street Journal reported that on the Sunday before the traffic jams began, remember the traffic jams began first day of school, Monday morning, the Sunday before, that official called the bridge and told them to shut down 2 of those 3 lanes. The guy who gave the order, it turns out, is a former high school classmate and friend of Governor Christie's. He worked as a political blogger in New Jersey before going to work for the governor, and according to the Wall Street Journal, he showed up that Monday morning on the first day of school when the school buses couldn't get through, when nobody could move, when the gridlock was astounding in Fort Lee to the point where nobody could conduct their daily business. He showed up that morning on the New Jersey side of the bridge and, quote, looked out over the traffic jam that he helped create. Again, supposedly for a traffic study that the traffic department did not know was coming, and that does not appear to exist in agency records. Do you believe this story? Last month, the Democrats in the New Jersey legislature hauled in another top official from the Bridge Authority and asked him about this supposed traffic study.
This hearing is about the lack of communication and the poor conduct of the Port Authority, and you are here trying to cover that up. What I would like to know is whether or not you have an email trail. You're trying to tell us that this a study that had a major disruption on your major bridge has no paper trail, that there is not a single email that explains how this was done. That defies all logic, and nobody in this room believes that.
I love New Jersey. That was the week before Thanksgiving. Democrats in the New Jersey State House openly questioning whether bridge officials are telling the truth or whether something else happened here and something bigger is at stake. Last week, Governor Christie just started joking openly about the conspiracy theories here, saying, oh yeah, he was the guy who was working the traffic cones on the bridge that day. Ha ha, he said, I did it. Funny me, ha ha. But on Friday, look what happened. Governor Christie's old high school buddy, the guy who reportedly ordered those lanes closed and then showed up to watch the chaos that ensued, late in the day on Friday, he very quietly quit. He resigned, saying that he had become a distraction. And so maybe this crazy story is at least not only funny right now. Today it took at least another dramatic turn. 2 officials told New Jersey lawmakers at a hearing today that they were directed not to let anybody know about the changes that were planned for the bridge that day. They were told to shut down the bridge and told to tell no one they were doing it. They said they worried about what would happen if they broke the chain of command that way by not alerting anyone as they would usually do. Asked by lawmakers whether keeping silent at the time seemed wrong, one of those bridge workers told lawmakers today, yes.
New Jersey's problem will soon be the country's problem. And I know the mainstream media loves him, adores him. They will not perceive him to be a problem at all. They will see him as the solution. So you see that, we get rid of the Tea Party, they were being too right-wing. We're going to bring Chris Christie, who brings the Republican Party back to where it belongs, in the pocket of Wall Street.
So if you are a New Jersey governor with profoundly national ambitions, then rightly or wrongly, fairly or not fairly, you have to make some sort of break from the New Jersey crazy if you want to play on the national stage. You have to make a break from all of the crazy that people just assume goes along with life and politics in New Jersey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What do those words mean to you? To me, they say, thank you, America, for your strength, your courage, and for our freedom, which has been a beacon to the world for 200 years.
Of the United States of America,
Whose bright stars are 50 states, each bearing its own stamp of individuality. People, 200 million strong. People who have come to her from all corners of the earth.
and to the republic for which it stands.
A land of laws with an ingenious system of checks and balances that allows no man to become a tyrant and lets no group prevail if their power is not tempered with a real concern for the governed. A land where the right of dissent and free speech is jealously guarded, where the ballot box is the sword and the people its wielder.
One nation, under God.
A land where freedom of worship is a cornerstone of her being. A land graced with temples and churches, synagogues and altars that rise in profusion to embrace all the religions of the world.
Indivisible.
A land forged by the hot steel and raw courage, and formed forever by the awful crucible of civil war.
Almost as if there is a corrupt public official under
Where man in pursuit of an honest life will not be denied his chance. Where her citizens move freely within her vast borders without hindrance or fear. A land brimming with opportunity, where freedom of choice is the guideline for all.
And justice.
The courts of our land are open to all. Its wheels of justice grind for all causes, all people. They look to every avenue for justice, every concern of the law, and they temper their reasoning with mercy for all.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud